20 in my mind, and it could be 20.
It is Thursday, August 14th. Your host for tonight has been part of the CFTA community since day one. Music off, please. Because this is important shit right here. You've seen him before. He's often well-dressed and always a fan of stand-up comedy. Please give an energetic round of applause for Ayman Nassar!
Thank you so much, Dex. How are you doing tonight, everyone? Love seeing people at CFTA. Love seeing everyone following their passion in comedy. We had someone say before, dressed for the job you want. As you can see, I'm dressed for the job I have. I'm an internal auditor. We have not many, but we have a few requirements of you. We have a list when people host that we have to read through. And if you bear with me, I will get through it as quickly and as painlessly as possible. Number one, if you have the munchies, we have snacks. The snacks are very well priced, and we have amazing, amazing patties that are freshly made by our resident chef. Give it up for Jamila. You can show her some love by trying them out. We do have a nice offer on them. Be sure to check the screen over there or the paper right in front of you. Second, every place runs on merchandise. Our merch is hanging up right behind you. We have some really cool t-shirts. Please, if you are so inclined, do consider buying one and helping us spread the message outside. The show is being streamed, much to the entertainment of everyone who is watching online. Shout out to my Arabic friends. Hala habibi, el akhbar. Look, there are some Arabs here, so it does make sense to speak Arabic, okay? On a small note, when I moved here, I thought I was bilingual. Whenever they had job applications, they would say, you need somebody to be bilingual, bilingual. And I would go for those jobs and say, yes, I speak two languages. I speak Arabic and English. They said, no, we mean French. So that sucked. We have amazing cameras that shoot really high quality, lovely videos of your performances that you can purchase for the small price of $10. And we also would like you to know that this material is being used by CFTA for marketing purposes. So if you don't want your set to be recorded, do please write it next to your name on the list, and we'll inform the techies to not post your video. Thursday nights are always open mic nights at CFTA. You all know that because you're all here. And Friday nights, we have storytelling nights, which are also really fun to be part of because it's nice to just get up on stage and tell the story, as you all know, without the added pressure of waiting for a laugh. Okay? So if you want to dip your toes into more performative arts, we highly suggest that you come to Storytellers Nights. We have time slots. We have a fancy new traffic light in the back. What I will do is give you a yellow light at 4 minutes, which gives you 1 minute to wrap up your set. And then I will turn on the red light. And much like they taught me in Kuwait, red light means no go. If you pass the red light, we're deporting you, which is what they do in Kuwait. Now, last but not least, in the corner when you enter, there is a vestibule for you to just speak candidly about how you feel, about CFTA, the vibes we have here. We would love it if you would leave us a video note. And you can just say whatever the fuck you want. Okay? Be candid, be humorous. You're not getting laughs, but you will be seen. So that concludes everything we have here on the list. Now, are you ready for some comedy? Are you ready for some comedy? The first thing I forgot to mention from that list is that we would love it if you could fill in the front seats because, as we mentioned, the show is being broadcast.
Don't tell me what to do.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for moving. Thank you. I'm going to start off the night by telling you a few stories just to warm you up for when the real comedians show up. Recently, I was on a trip. I was on a trip to Cuba. And that trip taught me a lot. The minute I landed in the airport, it was beautiful. I walked there and it gave me communist vibes. Because the last communist country I was in had the same exact setup where you walk up to immigration and there is a short tunnel with 2 doors. One door lets you in, one door lets you enter the country. The lady that I was fortunate enough to end up with didn't look like she spoke a word of English. She looks up at me when I hand her my passport and she says, "Egyptos?" And I said, "Sí." And then she looks me dead in the eye and says, "Sir, please step back to the red line." Now, as I said, I'm Egyptian. I'm used to the extra level of security. I've been going through it at every airport I've been to. Her supervisor walks up with a paper in hand, and he's all smiles, and he's like, "Sir, just answer a few simple questions." And I know the answers already, so I'm like telling him, "My name is Ayman." He asked me, "Where do you work? How long you been in Canada for? What do you do for a living? Where do you live?" And as I'm answering all these questions, I'm also schooling him in how to spell what I am telling him. And one of the hidden perks of being an auditor is that I can read things upside down. So as I'm looking at what he's writing, my eyes go to the side of the page where I see the words cerda, frijoles, arroz, huevos, condones. And nothing makes you feel more welcome than your interrogation sheet being on the same page as fucking dinner. It was his grocery list. I mean, I knew things were bad in Cuba, but I didn't think they were that bad. The bus ride to the hotel was great. When I told people I was going to Cuba, they told me that the food there is not that great. Yeah, Jake, you were right. You're absolutely right. So in preparation, I made like a couple of burgers, and I took them with me, and I got some cheese and burger buns. And when I got to the hotel room, I forgot to look for a fridge. So I just left the food outside. I was like, it'll last. It'll last. And worst case scenario, even if it does go bad, I'm using my stomach as a scientific experiment where I would let Canadian bacteria fight it out with Cuban bacteria. And you know that Canadians will never lose jobs out to Cubans, so worst case scenario, I'll be okay. Bless you. As the trip progressed, I'm meeting some really nice people at the hotel. There's this elderly gentleman who's so kind, and every time he sees me, he prepares my coffee and my juice, and we communicate. You know, it was good. And I noticed that at the bar, they had ketchup and mustards. And that was the one thing I forgot to bring with me from Canada. So I go with my moldy burger, where the meat, I shit you not, was sweating. The cheese was melting. The buns were covered in ants because I didn't seal the bag properly. But it was still better than the food they had there. I'm sorry, you have to go there to see. So as I take my moldy burger to the bar to, try to kill the taste, the old man who had become my friend looks at me and he says, "Is that a burger?" And I said, "Yes." He says, "Can I have a bite?" And I look at this disgusting burger and I'm like, "Here you go." you would think I would have this man's best interest at heart, but, what I later found out is that they don't really have beef burgers in Cuba. It's a chicken-pork hybrid. So even if he dies eating something that is not available there. And have you ever been to a country where you don't speak a semblance of the language, and yet people will look at you and just start talking in rapid Spanish? Like, I'll give you an example. لو أنا بصيت لكم وقعدت أقول لكم إن أنا بتكلم العربي دلوقتي ومحدش فاهم أي حاجة. That's exactly how I felt. When I would be trying to cross the road or walk through a place, a person would come up to me and start talking to me in Spanish. Now, I understand that I kind of look the part, but I swear to you, I am not. And I say, no habla español. And yet they continue to speak in Spanish. And I'm thinking, like, do you imagine that God chose that very moment for my savant linguistic skills to kick in, where I would understand? And he's not even speaking Dora Spanish. Like, he's going blah, 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 despacito. Blah, blah. And I'm like, and I'm trying to figure out a way to tell him that no habla español. He looks at me and he goes, idiota tratura. And I'm like, you just called me a stupid traitor. I'm telling you, I am not Cuban. I should have said that. But all I ended up saying after his long diatribe where he goes, comprende, I looked at him and said, sí comprende. Didn't help my case out one bit. But when I was in Cuba, I fell in love. As a single person, you never imagined that you would find the love of your life on the foreign beach of a foreign country. And she was the most beautiful person I had ever seen. She was gorgeous. She was stunning. She was average. Because on the beach over there, I noticed one thing. There are a lot of hot young women in Cuba. Hot to the point where young enough to the point where you have to ask them for ID. So you could be sure that that beach was full of pedophiles. But I was eyeing stretch marks. Because that lady was perfect. She had a bad dye job. I could see the roots of her hair. I could see stretch marks on her body. She had a son too, so that's perfect. You know that this person is of the right age. And I knew that I had to say something to this beautiful woman. So I waited for her in the lobby. I waited, and I would notice her walking around. And I noticed that I'm noticing a lot of things which might be creepy to her. She doesn't know I'm an internal auditor. And I saw my opening. She was walking towards me. I stood up and I said, hermosa. She looked at me and said, sí. So internally, I was very happy because I just managed to hit on a woman in a language I don't even speak, much less understand. I ran up to her and I'm nervous. I'm like, what do I say to her? So I said, look, I know you're not going to understand this, but you are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen in my life. And I know it's a very long shot, but I doubt that you cannot be single. There is no way a woman as beautiful as you can be single. And if you are, I'm sure Ayman will make you very happy. I'm Ayman. And then I held her hand, and I kissed it, and I looked in her eyes, and I said, if you ever think for a moment that you want to have the most amazing time of your life, I'm in room 1058. And I kissed her hand, and I walked away. She smiled, so I was happy. But then, as I get to my room, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? I'm Muslim. What the hell am I going to do? I can't do anything about this. If she comes up to my room, what the hell am I going to do? Am I going to offer to go meet her mom? Am I going to ask for her hand in marriage? There is no way. I don't have a rubber. What if she gives me the commies? all these thoughts are running through my head. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pray and go to bed. And I did that. And then I hear a knock at the door. And I'm like, it's going to happen. Or most probably, what if it's her husband? What if it's her boyfriend? There's no way she's single. You just said she's the most beautiful woman you've seen in your life. There's obviously someone at that door who means you ill intent. But what if it's her? What do I do? So I wrap a towel around my waist, and I open the door ever so slowly, and I say, see? On the other side of the door is the old man, and he's saying, sir, do you have any more of those burgers? And on that note, I would like to bring our first comedian. You can catch him at Yuck Yucks this weekend on Friday and Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is super funny. I've really enjoyed watching his sets when he's here and when I saw him at the Judge. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Greg.
Hey guys, how are you? Good, nice. I stumbled upon girl porn recently, and it wasn't online in a dirty website, it was actually in a Chapters. You know, because women read their porn. Only a woman would make it harder for them to come, am I right? All right, no, this is the stark contrast between what a male's fantasy is and what a female's fantasy. It just makes me laugh, because like, what a male's fantasy is just dumb. You know, versus a woman's fantasy, it's like scary and kind of evil. You know what a male's fantasy, like what you see in porn? Every porn fantasy is like, it feels like your dumbest construction worker Italian friend is trying to convince you of a story that just didn't happen to him. Dude, I was on my fucking deliveries the other day, right? I'm doing my fucking deliveries. I pull up to this house. Guess who answers? Twins, titties, blonde. And they go, dude, we can't pay the normal way. Is there any other way we can pay? And they start unbuckling my pants, and the other one's on my fucking balls. And they're going, whoa, this is the biggest I ever seen. And I look down, I'm black. And then, did I tell you how my stepmom, dude, she came on to me one time, okay, because you know, me and my parents aren't together no more. My dad got remarried, and my stepmom's doing my laundry, because you know I can't do my laundry because I'm a 32-year-old Italian man. And she's doing my laundry. She gets stuck in the washing machine. She goes, hey, Tony, do you mind fucking helping me with this? And I see her. She's got ass in the air. She's going, hey, do you mind helping me? And I get behind it, and I start banging it. And she goes, whoa, this is the best I've had. And I look down, and I'm black. And then, versus what, like, I don't know. I know some of these female books, like if you guys have read them, it feels, all of them are like weird. It's like they're all based in like this world. It's not real. Like the main love interest is not even a person. It's like a werewolf or a vampire, or maybe like a CEO billionaire who has like child slaves. And then there's just always just this woman who's like, what, me? And she works at like a coffee shop or whatever. And the guy's like, I must have you. I cannot live without you. And the whole fucking premise of the thing is just like the girl's like in love with him because he's like, he's mean to everyone but me. That's what the fucking, dude, every girl fantasy book can be just broken down into, hey, he killed my entire family, left me trapped in a basement for 17 days, no food or water, but oh my God, was he tall. Is anyone else's like parent, like, my parents can't handle social media. Like my parents are like 65 years old. Every time I come home, my mom is just telling me another way I'm gonna die. You know, I could be telling her I'm gonna go do like the safest. Hey, I'm gonna go play frisbee in the park in like a glass dome where we're all wearing bubble wrap, and she'd be like, "What about the ticks? The ticks are gonna get ya." I don't know. Every time I come home, I just hear my mother in the living room just listening to reels on full volume, and it's just a fucking trending sound. And I'm just like, we're all eating dinner, and my mom made it, and then she just goes to sit and watch reels on how everyone's gonna die in 2 years. Comments under some fucking Six Buzz being like, we need to deport them all. And I'm like, okay. My parents can't handle it. I'm trying to dress better recently. I am. I feel like I don't dress good. I feel like I dress like a kid who just graduated high school, like a dad no one respects. I want to dress better. I do. I just can't take fashion risks. I don't know how people do it. Like, it's honestly impressed me how women and black guys do it all the time. Seriously. Like, you ever see a black guy wear a scarf in the summer and the entire time being like, does he know something I don't? I can't do it. Every single time I do, I just get self-conscious. You know what I tried doing recently? I'm 26 years old. I tried wearing rings. That's what I thought. I'll be the ring guy. My frontal lobes develop. I'll be the ring guy, right? And I go to the ring store. I'm not going to like a Claire's or a People's Jewelers. I'm going to like some Arab guy who's selling rings off a carpet at a farmer's market, right? And all these rings are just turning your hand green. And you know what the thing is like I tried these rings on. You feel good when you try something on for the first time. You go, whoa, I could see myself talking about this at a party, right? Oh yeah, I'm a ring guy. Don't worry about it. And then all it takes is one comment for just to turn your world upside down, right? All it takes. In my case, it was a positive one. It wasn't even someone making fun of me. Like the guy comes up to me, the guy who owns the place. He was like, "Hey man, that looks really great on you." And I got insecure. I was like, "Yeah, no, you're right. This feels gay." Yeah, no, I can't do this. I'm too old to change my identity. All right. Actually, I want to do one more. If we have time, I have 5 minutes. How much time do we get? Perfect. Okay, you guys are going to really like this one. Sometimes when I shave my pubes in the shower, I like to get out and look in the mirror and pretend like I'm a gay man critiquing the inside of a house. Okay, here's why. 'Cause I don't know how you guys shave your pubes. But I fucking go bald, okay? I go bald, but I have leg hair that goes all the way up. So when you look at it directly on in a mirror, it looks like the top of a Jewish man's head. You know what I mean? Like a Muslim baby who just fell out of his mom. That's what my genitals look like. And I used to get really mad at myself. Oh, it's so stupid. I got hair here, but none. Well, that's so dumb. No one's gonna blow me, right? And now I start to have fun with it. I go, I don't care about what it looks like. If I forget, I forget. Woo! So I like to go in the mirror now and just like, if this happens, I like pretend like I'm a gay man. Just nothing matches. No one is gonna purchase this property, honey. This is completely awful work. Greg, thanks. Appreciate it.
One more round for Greg, everyone. Like we said, you can catch him at Yuck Yucks on Friday and Saturday. And whilst I was listening into his lovely set about hairy Arabs and Arabs that sell you rings, I have no rings and I'm Arab. I'm not hairy and I'm Arab too, which is very difficult for your lineage when you don't fit with the stereotype. But there's a very interesting stereotype about Cuba that I wanted to tell you about. Cigars. Do you guys want to hear the story of my journey to buy Cuban cigars? So first it starts when you go to the regular market and a guy walks up to you and he's like, "Psst, psst. Hey, Holmes, you want some cigars?" I'm like, "Yes, I want Cuban cigars." He's like, "These are Cuban cigars." I'm like, "How much?" He's like, $5 each. Sounds like a good deal. But then you hear stories about them selling fake shit to tourists and it's banana leaves. Now, I am not a smoking connoisseur, but it kind of rubbed me the wrong way that they would try to trick us. So I took a 1-hour bus to the city to look for Cuban cigars. And in the grand scheme of things, you can take away a few things from the story, but I will tell you that one of the important things is that you're always exactly where you need to be as my audience. As I'm walking through this city that I've never been to, any tourist will know that when you hear the words, "Hey, my friend, how are you?" it is code for run the fuck away. Okay? That person does not know you. He is not your friend. Okay? I've been to enough countries to know this. So as I'm walking through the city where I know no one, I hear the familiar, "Hey, my friend, my friend." And I'm like, I'm trying to be polite, and ignore the guy as I'm walking to look for water. But he's insisting. He's like, my friend, you don't remember me? And I'm like, you all look alike to me. How on earth who are you? And then he looks at me and he's like, you're at Guadalajara, right? And I was like, shit. Did the security guy, did the guy at the airport tell you that I'm the Egyptian staying at that hotel? Because I was wearing a shirt that said Egypt, you know? So I can sell the fact that I am not from here. And I'm like, yes. And he says, I'm the security guard at your hotel. And I'm like, oh. And then he says, yes, you don't remember me because I'm not wearing my uniform. And I said, yes, exactly, that's it. It's because you're not wearing your uniform. And he's like, what are you looking for, my friend? And I said, I'm looking for Cubans. So he's like, come with me. We go to a place, and he's like, here you go. And I saw them, and I'm like, they are good. Please send them to my room. But what about the cigars? He's like, let's go upstairs. So we go upstairs, and it's this bar with a Hector-looking person behind the counter. And he sees me, and he's like, my friend, what are you looking for? And I said, I need some cigars. He reaches beneath the table, and he pulls out 4 different boxes. He's like, this one is $90, this one is $100, this one is $120, this one's $150. And he looks at me, I'm like, these aren't banana leaves, right? Pretending to know what I'm talking about. And he's like, no, they're authentic. Here, smell it. And I grab it, I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck a normal cigar, a banana is supposed to smell like. What the fuck am I supposed to know what a Cuban cigar smells like? So I grab it and I pretend like, yeah, this is good. Yes, okay. I'm like, I'll take this. And he says, okay, it's $100. Now, here's the problem. There are 2 types of dollars. There's American and there's Canadian. They don't want Canadian. They want American. Me being the smart tourist, I'm not carrying my dollars with me as I'm walking around in the city of Cuba where I could get killed. So I look in my wallet, and I'm a little short. So I look at the guy and I said, would you mind taking, $30 now, and I'll give you the rest later. And he goes, well, sir, there are other ways to pay. And I'm trying to think, what should I do? What should I do? It's Cuba. Do I really have to light a Cuban cigar to buy some Cuban cigars? So I have a box of Cubans at home, if anyone is interested in buying. And if you don't have money, we can figure it out. Our next comic is oozing with comedic brilliance. She's been here from day one. Gabby is the Chilean sensation who will properly light up your tastes buds with what she has to say when she tells you about the journeys that she has been on. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabby Watts.
Wow, oozing. I agree. We all, if we know a little bit about me, probably can imagine what I'm oozing. It's not brilliance. My friend and I were at a bar the other day, and he pointed out a girl, actually at the bar, and he was like, she looks sad. And I was like, yeah, she looks kind of sleepy and sad. But then I said to my friend, you can't go pick her up, because it looks like somebody else already roofied her. Because, I don't know if rapists have ethics, but, you can't take a girl someone else roofied home, right? Those are not your roofies. I don't know, honor among, I can't say the word honor among thieves, or I don't know if there's honor among rapists. Probably not. I have a big complaint about cars, and it's that they're very bland. Like in the 70s and 80s, they all had a different look, different colors. And cars all like kind of look the same now. And I was thinking about people, how people can be so bland too. But every once in a while, one of them will pick like a personality trait that makes them fun, but it's like having like cow print in your kitchen or something. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking those, is this really high or, I don't know. Yeah, can you turn me down, perchance? Well, stop the oozing, if, as it were. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I was thinking that people who, instead of being bland, choose like a terrible personality, are like the PT Cruisers of people. Like it's got a look, but it's fucking sucks. My best friend is really smart. She always knows what to do. She recently decided that we should stop talking. So I trust that this is a good thing for our friendship. But, you know, like, she said that if she sees me, she'll spit on me. So, like, maybe things are going to get a little spicy. I don't know. There's always hope. The other day I went to Niagara Falls, and I was admiring the fact that even though it's like a shitty little city, they always have something going on because of the falls, right? Whereas, like, Hamilton, like, the steel dried up, and now we just live with that, right? But then I thought, it's just continuously falling water. Like, it's not that much of a big deal. My husband tried to comfort me and said, well, we have the most falls of any city. And I was like, honey, no one's going to come see a bunch of little falls. It's like if you had to choose between one guy with a 10-inch penis and, like, 10 guys that each have a 1-inch penis. You know, we're the 10 guys. I have a problem with the term hair tie. I call them hair elastics because I feel like they're elastics and they're not ties. Like, is my hair elastic going to a wedding or something? It's very upsetting, if you say hair tie, like, we're enemies. I'm not a bitch to the core, I just have a very thick bitch crust. People ask me if comedy is my dream, and like, my dream is for my dad to come back. So, like, this is pretty fun, though. The other day I saw a trippy mushroom picture that I assume, like, mushroom people would take and trip out and look at the mushroom. It's kind of on the nose. It's very, like, meta. It's meta commentary on tripping, I guess. I don't know. But then I got to thinking about how no one drinks a bottle of wine and then stares at, like, a blurry picture of grapes just to really feel the effects. I don't know. I met my husband in high school, and I really recommend that. It's, like, way better than dating on the apps or whatever. So time machine or disguise is your choice. By that I mean whether you take a time machine or just try to fit in with it. That was not good. Okay, let's end on one thing. I am bisexual, and my type of guy has always been short and blonde, and my type of woman has always been tall and blonde. And I'm 5'3", so one day I realized that both of those people were 5'7". I don't know. You know? You guys know that God created man out of mud, and then he created woman out of, like, a rib. I also feel like he probably created clavicles when he created the woman, because, like, God immediately knew that she was going to sit on his face, and that there needed to be, like, some kind of structure there so that the whole thing wouldn't cave in. Okay, that's my time. Thanks, guys.
Keep it going for Gabby, everyone. I'm sure if Gabby were God, she would have created us all from Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, see, I pay attention when people are on stage and they're talking about their stories. So stories. Singles. Round of applause if you're single. You're not single. Why the fuck are you applauding? It's tough being single. It's tough being single when you're approaching middle age. All my friends are telling me, man, you need to go for the younger models. She has to be in her 20s. But I'm like, that's the age where you're looking for a sugar daddy. And I see myself more as a diabetic uncle. Like, I can tell you what to do with your money, but I won't give you mine. And they keep talking to you about how these women are, lovely and they have a lot to offer. And like, I know that all these women are looking for is the D. I have the D. I have a lot of the D. By D, I mean disposable income. Now, our next comic will be highlighting at Après Cafe tomorrow, this weekend. So everyone, if you're in the Dundas area, please be sure to check out my friend and yours. Give it up for Aleko Gamal.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, that's very kind of you. My name is Aleko, which is kind of weird. It's a weird name, right? Like, it's kind of weird that I have to lie about it at Starbucks. Especially because that sounds like a drink you would get at Starbucks. Although it's the right amount of weird that I lean into it when I'm applying for a job, right? Most recruiters, they look at, they go, oh, Aleko, we could use a they, them. Yes, I will be whatever you need me to be. I will check every DEI box like we're playing tic-tac-woke. Like, I'm tan enough that I should not go to the United States. So, ethnicity, mixed. Indigenous? Well, I've played an Indigenous chief in 2 different school plays, so sure. One more and I get my status card, I think. Sexuality, well, I ride a bike, so gay. Bike sexual. Yeah. So I do it for the tight clothes and the padded butt and the reverse stilettos, those shoes that guys just clip-clop around in. And it's the most gay because you can't pick up women when you're on a bike. It's scientifically proven. You cannot pick up women when you're riding a bicycle because you just look like a little gay gargoyle, just... But yeah, I want to try some new stuff. Being on the bike, not only do I identify as, bisexual, I also identify as whatever the fuck I want, right? Like, I come up to a stop sign, roll through. I choose when I want to stop. If there's a car there, sometimes I'll stop because, I want to be a vehicle. And I'll give him a little nod, be like, yeah, go through, buddy. But if he's like 2 feet away from coming to a stop, and I get to the intersection first, me hitting the line counts as me stopping. I don't actually have to stop, I just roll through. And sometimes I want to be treated like a pedestrian. People on bikes are so obnoxious, right? We just point where we want to go and we go there, like, sidewalk, mine. But I do try to wave to people when I'm on a bike because I know people hate me. So I started waving like this with the peace sign, right? Because it's like a nice thing. And it really bugs me when people don't wave back. So the nice thing about the peace sign is you can easily flip it around if no one waves. I never flip anyone off. It's just like after they pass me, I just go, fucking piece of shit. I'm on a bike. Wave to me. Waving at pickup truck drivers is the most satisfying thing because they don't know what to do. They're like, I want to kill you, but you're waving at me. What do I do? And then he's got to go home later and shower because he's got to wash away the memory of locking eyes with a idiot in spandex. Despite riding a bike, I do date women. Just got out of a toxic situationship. And yes, if you have been in a situationship before, toxic is just part of it. Like, that's just built into what a situationship is. And situationship, I was just saying sex in it because that's the only reason I was in it was for the sex. And this last gal broke up, we ended things, and I just thought in retrospect, it was kind of interesting that she thought it was, well, I never told her because I knew she would find it gross if I picked my nose. It's gross, I know, but my fingers in her pussy is also kind of gross if you think about it, right? Like 2 different kinds of mucus. And I didn't complain if I got blood on my fingers, and I never picked my nose hard enough to get blood on my fingers, so that's a new joke. I like that the woman in this crowd. Yes. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce just released a podcast episode today. I don't know if anyone saw that. I watched that for 2 hours. It's a 2-hour podcast. I watched the whole thing. I shaved my head so I could look like Travis Kelce, hoping that I'll get someone like Taylor Swift. I thought I was going to marry her initially, and then he kind of slid in the picture, and I'm like, okay, well, we'll see, Travis. But, you know, that's how I started watching the podcast, because I wanted to make sure that Taylor was with a good man. And, yeah, he's nice. He's a funny guy. I was like, oh, maybe if I bash my head against the wall, I could get some CTE, and then someone like Taylor will find me. But yeah, I started watching the Travis and Jason Kelce podcast, New Heights, and I realized I watch a lot of podcasts lately, and watching a podcast in bed, just watching men talk for 2 hours, that's pretty gay. Because I sleep naked, and it's got nothing to do with the podcast. I'm just naked watching Joe Rogan, and he suck me over into the manosphere. I'm glad Justin Trudeau retired, because now he's got time for all those guys who want to fuck him. Fuck Trudeau! Yeah! Let's do it! He's hot! Let's go, boys! I'm going to turn this convoy into a train! And this is going to be the longest gay pride parade ever, all the way to Ottawa. Have a great night, everyone. My name is Aleko Gamel.
Keep it going for Aleko, everyone. I'm going to keep this nice and short, like me. Aleko talked about sexuality. I'm a millennial. I am now starting to drift into that territory where I'm turning into the, grumpy old man, because I remember when I was young and I would go to the store to look for clothes, my biggest problem was guessing whether the clothing items were for males or females. Now, my biggest problem is going to the clothing store and trying to decide whether the assistant is male or female, or prefers not to identify as either, which is a choice now. Our next comic is a lovely lad from my neck of the woods. هيفهم اللي انا هقوله دلوقتي لانه زي ما قلنا انا بتكلم عربي انت مش عربي ف I'm sorry. I'm just trying to let you know how it feels when you go on vacation to a place where nobody speaks your language. And they still speak to you in that language. Adam is going to be able to make you laugh because he's been doing comedy, and if you're stuck for money for a lawyer, he dreamed of being a lawyer, so he might be able to help you out there. Since he's able to make you laugh, everybody give it up for Adam Kane.
Thank you so much for that intro. Thank you so much for also speaking Arabic. You could have just said, our next comic is a Tiz! Come on down! I also love the effort to try and bring everybody to the front. And he was just like, guys, there's so many Arabs here. Please come closer, come closer, come closer. That's why we have Faye and our friend over here. Actually, I'm not Egyptian. I am Lebanese. But, I actually did come back from Egypt recently. And I'm giving this out to the host. I like to think that Egyptians are probably the least racist Arabs out there. Honestly, no, you're shaking your head, but it's true, seriously. It's because, most countries, most ethnic countries, if you're not a person of that country, you get treated differently as a tourist, right? Indians get treated the same in India, you know what I mean? Even if you can't speak Punjabi, you're still brown, so you're treated right. Egypt is the only country where, if you go to the pyramids, it doesn't matter even if you're Egyptian. They will still try to fucking scam you. It doesn't matter. They see no color. They just see nose and money. That's all they really care about. Really happy to be here, guys. It hasn't been a great week. I actually, I totally got caught masturbating at work. I actually work completely remote, so my brother just walked in. Yeah. We locked eyes right before I finished, so that's something completely new. I've been dealing with. I like to think that we're all good with incest, so I'll keep it going. I like this. A lot of smiles. I also love how he presented my name, Adam Kane. So I walk out, he says Adam Kane. It sounds like I work at Walgreens, and then you guys get hit with a lot of nose, a lot of beard. One time I was at a show, and then somebody said, Adam Kane, more like Saddam Hussein. And that was the last time I brought my mom to a show, so. Yeah, no, she's not allowed coming ever again. I'm kind of doing like a side profile for you guys. I do like to say that if I'm swimming near you guys and doing the backstroke, there could be a dolphin in the water. If you maybe were seeing it here, no? No. Like Aleko, I do play with my name at Starbucks, but I do it completely differently. I am aware of my features, and because of this, I actually present myself as Osama at Starbucks. Couple of reasons, let's all slow down, okay? Put the pitchforks away. The reason why is, a couple of reasons. Number one, there's nothing funnier than being in a Starbucks, you know what I mean, on Yonge and Dundas. Everybody there is the color of milk, and they just go, order for Osama, and every person's like, where is he? Like, is he in the room with us? Or the second reason is quality assurance. I'm very peculiar with my Starbucks orders, as I'm sure many of you are. When Osama asks for light ice, Osama gets light ice. You know what I mean? We don't drop 1-star reviews, we drop towers. So there's a lot more at stake here than just, a bad Google review. But yeah, on dropping towers, this year's been pretty crazy. I like to think that's been pretty crazy just in terms of all the plane stuff that's been going on, right? We had our version of the Canadian 9/11, that runway massacre. We had what happened in D.C., where there was that plane that hit that chopper. Rest in peace to all the victims. I never like to see people die, especially from stuff like that. What I am happy to see is kind of the blame being shifted to a different kind of group. Guys, for years we owned this. This was like Mexican gardening. This was like black people leaving their kids. This was our stereotype that we owned. I can win any racial argument ever now. It's really not that hard, because nowadays nobody cares about sitting next to a guy who looks like me or you or even George. They just don't want a female pilot. That's weird. Thank you guys. That's all I got. Should we kiss?
No, keep it here. I want to read. Dolphin. Okay. Adam, I will tell you this because your name. Arabs think they're smart. When they name their kid Adam, they think he's going to blend in with the white folk. They're not going to know that he is a foreigner because his name is Adam. Adam is as white as it comes. He's the first man. But then you end up looking like us. And Adam, your parents were hoping you would be the leader into the new land of Canada when they moved here and decided to name you Adam. The reason I know this is because I wanted to call my son Adam. But then my brother beat me to it. On Arabs and travel, I did take a lot of offense one time at a beach when I saw a guy walking around with a t-shirt that said, "Terrorists suck," because I felt like that was directed at me. So I ran up to this guy, and I turned around, I'm like, "Sir, your t-shirt is bullshit. Terrorists don't suck. We blow." And our next comic does not do any blowing. She is bilingual. She is hilarious. She will tell you stories that will leave you in stitches. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Edith.
Hello. Ayman told me, "Oh, I'm glad you came. I have a joke from Cuba." I was like, "I'm from Mexico." So I hear his story and jokes. I was like, still cannot find it. A little bit, but anyway. So my joke is about, or it's not a joke, it's, well, let's see. When you are bilingual, or bilingual, como yo, like me, it's very hard sometimes to communicate. People don't understand you. People misunderstand you. You don't understand them. And it's horrible. Like, I have a friend who went to Mexico. He's from Canada. He speaks a little Spanish. And he went there and asked for, in his perfect Spanish, he said, un jugo y dos huevos, a juice and 2 eggs. What do you expect? What do you want? Like, somebody, if you go and ask that, what do you want? Yeah? Eggs and juice, right? Like, how do you imagine your eggs and juice? Sunny side up and orange juice. Well, he imagined that too, but they brought him orange juice with 2 eggs, raw eggs inside the juice. So he was like, oh. So he was like, "Where are my eggs?" And he's like, "In your juice." So he drank it. For example, I say, I love the beach. Nobody else seems to like the beach. I saw you guys in the beach, but you don't love it. So I'm confused, no? No? Do you love the beach? It's a beach. Somebody loves the beach? The masochist. Well then, but with all this confusion and language, and all, it's a magic moment in this. Nobody understands me, like, because I speak Spanish. If I'm with a Spanish speaker in Canada, that is beautiful because we can talk and nobody understands us, or at least we think is that nobody understands us. So the other day I went to Fortinos and I was with a friend. We were on the line, like, just about to pay. And the cashier was as white as, it was like Irish white. So we were waiting there to pay. And then on the distance, I saw somebody. I was like, he was so beautiful. He looks like a Fortinos pirate. So I told my friend, "Hey, oye, ven, mira. The pirata, the pirate." And she was like, "Where?" "Back there." The cashier was still doing his thing, and we both wear glasses, and we were like, "Yeah, he's so handsome." He had this bandana, and we were speaking loud, like, "Wow, he's so handsome." He has his bandana, his earrings, and beautiful mustache, sexy mustache. So I start telling her, "Oh, I want to imagine how big is his sword." And we were both like, And then, "Oh, does he have a peg? Show me your treasure. I know where to hide it." But then this man starts being, like, the cashier starts being so red. I was like, and he was like. So we paid, and then he said in perfect Spanish, "Tenga un buen día." He understood everything. I was like, oh my God. Anyway, thank you.
One more time for Edith Chavez, everyone. What she mentioned is something that all bilinguals go through. Because I remember when I used to travel with my now ex-wife, I used to love to just, like, say the most inappropriate shit to her out in public, loud, Because I know nobody's going to understand it. I'd be like, hello, enti al-akhbar, Until the Arab Spring happened. And then I felt exactly what Edith felt. Now, in Edith's previous jokes, why I was happy she was coming is because she used to talk about how Canadians are super tall. And when I moved here, I became painfully aware of the fact that I am short. Because when I go to like Mohawk to pick up my kid from summer camp, I have to look up at these people who still haven't like reached the full potential of how tall they can be. I feel like fucking Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan. Our next comic is also relatively tall. I really love that my culture has rubbed off on him with the necklace he's wearing. The next spot is done. Forget that. I won't say it. I won't say it. It's bad. Bad. It sounded good in my head. Anyways, yeah, our friend who was saying Egyptians aren't racist. Hello. I should invite you to Keep it going for Dante, everyone. Dante won't share this, but he's really rich this weekend because The Weeknd was performing in Toronto. I think it was at the Rogers Centre. And I could have sworn I saw Dante outside taking pictures with a lot of people. You really do look like The Weeknd. I was there because of my disposable income, and also the fact that I'm single. I decided to go see Linkin Park. Every millennial's dream, because that's the band that played the theme song to our generation. And I decided to go see them at 5 p.m. The show started at 7:30. And because I'm single, I was able to get there like that. Now, of course, fuck Toronto traffic, and that's the reason why I live in Hamilton. Hamilton gets a very bad rap, but I'll be honest. I thought it was my fault. Because when I moved here from Kuwait, I lived in a place that was called Hawali. Can everyone say Hawali? It's not, it's ha. We're going to have one segment where I try to get you guys to mimic the letters that we can sound, that you cannot. And yeah, moving to Hamilton was eye-opening because, number one, I didn't know about the homeless problem. And I came from a country that had 0 recreational drugs. So I shit you not, the first time I was driving to work and I saw the regular sights you see in Hamilton, which is this. I thought the sweet old lady in the elevator had drugged me and that I was seeing things in super slow motion because there is no way a sane person should be taking that long to pick up anything that they dropped on the floor. I thought I was, high by association. Which brings me on to our next comic, who's pretty high himself. Please give it up for the Kafta King, thanks to affirmative action for this segment. Everyone, give it up for Yo!
Hello, hello. What's going on, people? Well, go on. If you guys could be any race, say you died, you had to come back to life as a different race, which race would you guys choose? Polynesian. Fuck you. I choose Indian. I keep the same complexion and make twice as much money. Plus, my dad owns a convenience store, so I'm already prepped for the role. Right? You guys ever notice when brown people hang out, they're always rolling 6 men deep? Man deep, Gur deep, Raj deep. What's up with that? All I know is when women see them, they're in deep trouble. Huh? Human beings are quite shallow people, right? We will spend our whole lives trying to be famous just so people pronounce our name the right way. It's Yoel, motherfucker. Yoel. I'm not famous, I'm like a local famous because I'm a comedian, people see me on the street. It's famous enough for the hookers to remember my name. I also got a 10% discount. Which sounds like a good deal, but they want a 15% tip, right? So I end up down there. At least they moan my name, right? That's it. I remember myself. I'm getting too philosophical, guys, sorry. You know what would suck, though? If a suicide bomber killed you, and then you saw them in heaven. Can't be a hater, though. Some people die for a living, right? Nobody here? Okay. I hope when I'm reincarnated, I come back as a lesbian. Because I love women. But women don't love me. That's all I have to say about that. But getting into a little bit of history here, guys. I don't know if you guys ever knew this, but like Russians were the best at espionage back in the day, right? Like back with the Soviet Union and stuff, they used to spy on people. And they wouldn't do it like other people. Like they wouldn't send a James Bond or an Austin Powers. They would send really hot women to fuck powerful men and steal secrets. And I am waiting to be interrogated. Okay? I don't know anything, but I can learn. Like I've been calling Vladimir Putin all the fucking time. Like, hey man, whenever I'm ready. Sub me in, coach. Yeah, if those women got their hands on me, I couldn't lie. Because pussy is the truth, guys. And the truth squirts. I'm drowning in it, guys. I'm drowning in pussy, all right? I have a confession, though. I don't wear condoms. I don't. My dick's too big. This isn't even comedy anymore, guys. This is just who the hell is this sick motherfucker, man? All right. My girlfriend broke up with me. I gave her AIDS, and then I'm kidding, guys. She gave it to me. No, no, I'm kidding. No, she broke up with me. She said she doesn't like African people. She said we starve for attention. Which is true. Who needs a woman anyway, right? I don't need a woman because I have an imagination, which is much more powerful. No, because I have a vision of when I'm going to meet my wife anyway, and if she doesn't fulfill that vision, I don't need to marry her. In my vision, I am a billionaire. I'm going through a Tim Hortons drive-thru, and this beautiful woman comes out and hands me my coffee. And I say, beautiful woman, how would you like to serve me coffee for the rest of my life? Anyway. Anyway, guys. Oh shit, it's yellow. I'm just gonna read while you guys get all awkward. How you guys doing? What color is my shirt? I'll tell you. This isn't pink. This is vagina. All right, real men know the difference. Anyway, that's my set, guys. Thank you.
Of course, Yoel would not stoop so low to pick up a pen from his height. Make us short people work for it. One more round for Yoel, everyone. Yoel. You have a similar name to mine where people just decide to say, Ayman. There you go. Keeping things rolling, guys, I'm hungry. I know you must be. We have amazing vegan and beef patties and kafta for the kafta king. They're only $5 a piece, and if you opt for two, we'll throw in a drink for free. For our next comic, I really hope Donna is watching. Okay? I love her. You love her. Everyone, please give a audaciously loud round of applause for Faye Paulette.
Rude. Hello. Oh, wow. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Hi, I'm Faye. Hi. And I'm an alcoholic. Oh, shit. Wrong group. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I just saw you were, like, shopping for shoes on your phone. I'm like, has it been that bad? I've quite enjoyed myself. But that reminded me of a time I went shoe shopping, and I went into this shoe store, and the person who was working there, it's retail, so she's like a teenager, right? Like, and she just, you could tell she didn't want to be there. She's getting paid like, I don't know, I mean, now it's $17 or something. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. This kid is there, and I go up to her after I find a shoe, and I'm like, oh, I really like this, but there's only one. So I'm like, hey, excuse me, I would really like this shoe, but I can only find one. Do you have a pair? She was like, a pair? And I was like, yeah, a pair. And she's like, this is a shoe store. Why are you asking for a pair? And I was like, okay. I've only found the left shoe. I need the right shoe. Please, can you help me find the right shoe? And she's like, okay, well, there's no like one right shoe, but I can absolutely help you find one that's, right for you. I'm just like, okay. Okay, how do I word this? Left shoe, right shoe, pair. It's getting very frustrating. What did happen next? That's a great question. It would be great if my brain knew. Basically, I'm getting very frustrated. I want this other shoe. And we're just going back and forth. And I'm like, I need a pair, like 1, 2 shoes. I need 2 shoes for my 2 feet. And she's like, oh, you mean a pair? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, homophones are crazy. And at that point, I'm just like, what did you call me? I'd like to speak to your manager, please. This is ridiculous. I am nothing but an avid ally. I tell ya. Anyway. Guys, on the way here tonight, a guy with the biggest penis passed me. Is he here? Who said that? Where are you? Where are you? I'm so sorry. No, you might be asking me, Faye, how do you know he had the biggest penis? That's a pretty private thing, right? I could tell because he drove past me and he was speeding, first of all, but he revved his car as much and as loudly as humanly possible. And I was like, oh, baby. Also, his tires were like, it was a regular sized car, but his tires were like this fucking big. Lifted. And I was like, that guy has to have the biggest dick I've ever seen. I think it might have fallen out of his pants onto the gas pedal. Because I assume you have to like roll that up like a garden hose, Who am I, though? Who am I? Who am I? Who are you? She doesn't even know. Who are we? We are going to take a quick look at the notes. Anyone see any good books lately? No? Okay. Pardon? The Bible. The Bible. Round of applause for the Bible, everyone. Did you guys hear there's a slur for robots now? 2 people know. Jake's like, oh yeah. I knew about this one. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but it's clanker. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. And people are like genuinely distressed about people using this. And I don't know if they've ever been to an auto shop, but like they're just throwing that shit around. Okay. Oh gosh, the yellow light. I see the light. That's what my dad said. No, it's true. Oh my gosh, did you guys hear? Okay, this is really exciting. They're giving, scientists, I think in Africa, are giving rhinos radioactive isotopes in their horns. You've heard about it. You know. And my brain's like, that seems dangerous, But they've reassured us, like, no, it doesn't hurt them. It's like very specific, and they just put it in, wake the rhinos up, and it's fine. In other news, the first 5-legged rhino. What a time to be alive. I've been Faye, a five-legged rhinoceros. Please give it up for your host, Ayman!
One more time for Faye, everyone. And since it has been said, Donna, your daughter is awesome. Kicking the door open. Inside joke. She knows what I'm talking about. Yes. Now, you referenced big dicks a lot in your sets. And since you weren't here last week, I'll tell you about the time that I, as a Muslim, went where I shouldn't go, to a nude beach. Yeah, and it's true what they say. Black people, it's true what they say. You know, to the point where I saw this gentleman, and I ran up to him and I said, "Sir, your dog seems to have run away. You're walking around with an empty leash." Our next comic has recently moved to Hamilton. He's been here for a year. So Hamilton is kind of like an STD because my brothers came here first, then I got here, then more people seem to keep coming to Hamilton. Anyways, please give a warm, loud round of applause for new Hamilton resident, Jamie.
Look at this. I got a roadies. There's roadies here. So this mic works. Oh. Check. Mic check. All right, we'll figure this out. Yeah, you know what? I've been here. Oh.
Go.
Old SNL bit. Oh, here we go. The voice of God. Yes, as in my introduction, I have been here in Hamilton for almost a year now. And looking around Hamilton, it looks like this is the place where the winner's rack goes before it goes to Africa. Well, you know what? These days I'm stoked. I started a new job recently. However, I have to actually go into the office now, and I haven't been in the office in 5 years. We're talking pre-COVID, right? So for 5 years, I've been slaving away at my so I've been slaving away on my computer, hunched over on my island. And when I mean slaving, I mean writing 3 emails, making a Caesar, and calling it a day at 30. But one of the things I learned was I picked up a second job while doing my work from home, and that is operating a one-person restaurant where I'm the cook, the customer, and the cleaner all in one. And so with a restaurant, kitchen gets so dirty. There's so many dishes to do. But what ended up happening was I just decided not to actually do dishes. And so my kitchen started looking like it was a party hosted by the Swedish chef. All right, we're going wireless. Look at that, upgrading the technology. So hopefully this works. So yes, my place ended up being disgusting. And to motivate myself, I started leaving myself 1-star Google reviews to help me clean up. And so I started going well, Jamie's place is disgusting. Wear a hazmat suit. It's a toxic waste dump emoji. Blah. And so, but then my friends started weighing in on they wrote just like, yes. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like either she agrees my face is disgusting, or two, she knows what a Diddy reference is. So, I've been, I rent an apartment, but I'm looking for a house, and I've actually, I've actually gone through some condos recently, and condos for 350 square feet for $500,000, they're tiny. Anne Frank is walking in and going like, oh, this is a little too tight for me. Yes. Did the battery die? No, it's fine. I've had worse times with women.
This is the intermission. Pretend that you're back in the cinemas when they would pause in the middle for you to go to the movies, to go to the concession stand. So, concession stand. Did they do that here in Canada? But they still do it in Egypt. I honestly movie stops. But then there's the hot dog movie. There's always a hot dog movie in intermission.
All right, yes, we are back. Woo! Right? Give it up. All right. Let's see what else I can do. So, yeah, you know what? My girlfriend was going through some of her stuff the other day, and she actually came across her wand, basically kind of the size of this, and she's like, "Hey, we should try and test it out." I'm like, "Really? I've never tried one of these things," and holy shit, that thing is intense. That thing doesn't take batteries. That thing is attached to the city's electrical grid. Seriously, two settings. There's intense and annihilation. It reminded me of the first time I held a chainsaw for the first time. Oh, what damage can I do with this? So, I'll just leave you on this one. Land acknowledgements, right? Can we just admit they have all the worth of pre-flight safety instructions? They're important, but we're not listening. And look, I've done my part. I've bought a dream catcher and some moccasins outside of an outpost outside of Sudbury. So I've done my part. Hope you do yours. My name's Jamie. Have a great one tonight.
Give it up for Jamie, everyone. You see, that's what happens when you don't have the right people in tech support. Hey, I told you, Egyptian, it's a long night, so please bear with me. I love the Anne Frank reference because our next comic is really going to bring that point home. I feel like this segment of the show is hosted by, the Vanilla Records. And I have to tell you one thing, guys. You are really underestimating how much I hate you. Reason being, white people who decide to move to Kuwait, even if you have no frame of reference, you don't do anything here in Canada, you go to Kuwait, the very fact that you're white and Canadian means that you can make a hell of a lot more tax-free money than you are making here. Whereas I, a person who was born in that country, lived in it for all of 36 years, can be deported for running a red light. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our next comic, Nick, of the White Privilege.
Okay. Thank you. I guess I'm moving to Kuwait. I feel like that would be a good idea. I'm not sure how I feel about this microphone. Technical difficulties aside, I feel like I'm about to pay for Cuban cigars. See? That's good comedy. Look at that callback all the way from the beginning. Thank you. Thank you for those that were here. Yeah, I'm white, and I addressed that last time I'm here, and I'm sorry. We're sorry. We're trying our best. But Ayman, أنا بعرف شوية عربي. Oh, marhaba. Yeah, that was 12 minutes of babble in the bathroom before I got up on stage. And for only $12.99, you can fit in two, because I think our time is coming to an end and we should, we got to make moves to adapt. I don't know what else to talk about. Last week I mentioned that I used to live in the UK, and I liked living in the UK because everybody was whiter than me, believe it or not. That was nice. That was nice to be the token cream guy. That was good in the group. I think my biggest accomplishment that I did was there. I was in a long-distance relationship the entire time and was successful. And people always ask me, like, was it difficult? Did you ever feel, tempted to cheat? And truthfully, no, not at all. Not in Wales, no. You've seen the royal family. It's a whole country of that, of just horrible DNA swapping. The whole place is more inbred than flour. Right? Yeah? All right. I thought that was good. Speaking about sheep and fucking sheep, my great uncle was quite a clever guy, always trying to earn a buck, and he would wake up at the crack of dawn and he would actually go and steal barn animals. And despite what people would say about him, he was a real goat getter. Right? See, a safe pun. That's always fun. Yeah. What else should we talk about? Faye, what do you want to know? I feel. Anne Frank, right? I've got to tie it back to Anne Frank. Thank you so much, Ayman. Anne Frank. Nothing comes to the top of my. Okay, here. This has nothing to do with Anne Frank. What's the difference between a whore's vagina and the Center for the Talking Arts? This place still has an Ayman, right? A little anatomy joke, yeah. Yeah, okay. Ooh. Somebody fell out of Anne Frank's house, didn't they? That was like a tourist went to visit and then fell out of the window. And I'm really trying to make that funny right now, but that's hard. I don't know. What do you think that person was thinking as they were falling out? Like, my day's bad. This was a bad day. Nobody's had it worse than me on my trip to Amsterdam. I was here for a good time, and then out the window, they went. Ugh, that's the best I can do with Anne Frank on the spot. Thanks for that. Yeah. Do people like Hamilton? Yeah, that's a pretty common response. Yeah, it's nice. It's good. It's a good time. I like Hamilton. I don't know, people have talked a lot about big penises, so I guess I will too. I've seen a lot of big cocks in Hamilton. Why they call it the Hammer. And I used to work in social services for quite a while, helping God's angels. No, don't applaud! Stop, guys, stop! Please, I'm so embarrassed. And, sometimes people would be unclothed and they had just great anatomy. And I hate to admit it, but there were just moments when I would catch myself feeling slightly jealous at the same time. And I was like, oh, that's not good. I should probably change that attitude. And I haven't. And I'm here on stage in front of you to compensate for that. And I got rid of my muffler, as Faye noticed, and Oh, mufflers like muffle sound. The joke is that I was the person driving loudly by you because I have a small penis. Yeah, and there's no shame in that. There's no shame. I think I'll end there. Yeah, that's all my comedy. Those are my chuckles. Thanks for that. Yeah. Here's Ayman. He's coming back in a minute, and he's going to make a joke. He's going to make a joke about Adolf Hitler right now. He's got one lined up for you, so enjoy it. Enjoy it. There you go.
Nine. I'm not going to walk into that one. I already feel personally offended with almost everything you said. The incest part, how did you know my parents are cousins? Yeah. Give it up for Nick, everyone. One more time. Thank you for being such a great sport. And without further ado, let's bring up our next comic. He's new to the trade. Not sure if he lives here in Canada or not, but I am really happy that we are sporting the same facial hair because I thought that this was going out of style. Everyone, big round of applause for Devin.
Hi, everyone. So this is my first time attempting stand-up. I was brought here by my friend Nick, great set. And so he's been trying to get me to do stand-up with him for a while. He keeps going, come on, just try it once, just do it for me. And I said to him, the last time he said that to me, he didn't even give me a courtesy spit. So since this is my first time trying stand-up, I decided, what kind of comedian do I want to be? Everyone has their sort of niche. And so the first thing I decided was maybe I could be one of those comics that comment on current events, So I went onto the internet and I started Googling, world news, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the first thing I found was porn, like always. And I thought to myself, what the hell is the BBC publishing? But looking back on it now, it's probably bbc.com, not bbc.com, isn't it? So, this is my first time, so I was trying to, write all these jokes, and so I ran a few by my girlfriend. And her response to me was, your ChatGPT plan has expired, please renew your license. So, I met our host here when I went up to buy a drink, and he said, welcome to the show, have I seen you before? And I said, no, I don't think so, but I may look like every other person that comes in here to try and use the bathroom and shoot up a little bit. My mom has always said that I look like the most educated homeless person she's ever met. She's personally not a fan of the facial hair. I grow the facial hair because I was once called a 14-year-old confused lesbian. And I thought that that was really, really unfair. Because what's there to be confused about? I've seen his micro penis. I'm not missing out on much. So I tried to write a few one-liners for this. And so one I came up with was, last year I finally ended up catching COVID-19. I managed to go 4 whole years without COVID. And so my first response was to go stand in a tall field, because what's Corona without a little lime? I'm running out of jokes. But so a few years ago, I remember reading a news story, going back to it, on the BBC, about a Hungarian politician, very homophobic man who got caught at a gay orgy. And the first thing I thought to myself was, wow, finally, a politician, a man of the people. He's fucking his constituents in more ways than one. So, I've tried some one-liners. I tried my observational humor. And, we're slowly getting to the end of things that I thought of on the drive over here. I'm gonna try a story now. And so, this story is completely true except for all the parts I made up. So I went to the University of Guelph, lovely city, great school, and I've always had chronic back issues. So I went out one night to find the only 24-hour shoppers in Guelph. And, I was rolling up. I used to drive one of those cars that Faye loves so much. Very loud, very obnoxious. My dick definitely didn't hang out the top of the window, if that's what you're asking. But I arrive at the shoppers, and I see the most beautiful woman I've seen in a long time standing out the front of the shoppers. And she comes up to me, and I have a smoke. I'm a big fan of smoking. But I think we should all start smoking more, by the way. Bring back lung cancer. We're living to be too old now. Better for the environment that way. But so this beautiful woman walks up to me and she goes, can I have a cigarette? I'm dying for a cigarette. So I go, of course. Me trying to be the suave 14-year-old confused lesbian I am. Give her the cigarette and I go, would you like a light? And she goes, absolutely. I'd love that. And so I give her the light and this man walks out, just storming right at me. And he goes, that's my girlfriend. What are you doing talking to my girlfriend? You're trying to hit on my girlfriend. And I go, no, sir. I'm just trying to give her a cigarette. She asked me for a cigarette, just trying to be kind. And he goes, I'm going to kick your ass. Fuck you, man. I am so done with your shit. And I'm like, all right, look, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. But, we can have a bit of a tussle before we make love. And so he's getting in my face, he's yelling at me, and this man comes out, and he's built like a linebacker, must be 6'4", 250 pounds, walks up to me, stares at his friend, stares at me, and goes to his friend, get in the fucking car. And his friend goes, he's hitting on my girlfriend, and his friend goes, get in the fucking car. And I'm still sitting there going, all right, this is where I die, in the Shoppers parking lot. I always hope I go out like Richard Pryor, underneath someone a little better looking than I am. And so he turns to me and goes, I'm so sorry about my friend. He's a fucking idiot. Have a good night. And I go, oh, I avoided this for one more night. We'll try this again tomorrow. And so the woman's still sitting there smoking her cigarette, and she turns to me and she goes, I'm so sorry. He's the biggest asshole I've ever met. Don't know why I'm still with him. And she turns and gives me a kiss on the cheek. And so I look at her, and I stare deeply in her eyes, and I go, bitch, get the fuck away from me. He almost kicked my ass for giving you a cigarette. Yeah, and so I was saying earlier, I'm a big fan of cigarettes, big fan of smoking, and I actually took it up because of all of those health classes where they say, cigarettes are bad, drugs are bad, you should stay away from that. And because they always start off with, you're going to try smoking a cigarette, and it's going to be the best thing you've ever experienced. You're going to get hooked right away. And you go, how is this dissuading me from smoking cigarettes? If I'm going to feel amazing, and I don't have to save for retirement anymore, what's the downside? That's it. I've run out of jokes. Thank you for being supportive and not booing me off the stage.
Keep it going for each, everyone. The past 3 sets were sponsored by white privilege.
I'm biracial.
I was a little skeptical about you, but yeah. But here's the thing. Once you try it, I understand why white people get away with the stuff that they do. As an Egyptian, we're kind of like stuck between being white enough that we're part of North Africa, but yet some of us are dark enough that we show that we are African. And I always used to tell people at work that I'm African. America fucked that up because the only African they understand is African American, which means like dark-skinned. So I would keep telling people, I'm African. Until I was caught speeding in the US. And that's when I realized, I kind of like the deal you have, Nick. Because I was able to get off with a warning. Not a, put your hands out where I can see them, just a regular, don't do it again. And I was happy about that. Now, our next comic is someone that, well, he's the reason I got into comedy. And I cannot sing enough praises to this person, who also passes off as white, Everyone give a loud round of applause for George Tarabai!
What the fuck? It's empty. It's just like a circle of people. It's like Ayman farted and then all of you went, oh no. Except you. You went like, give it to me. So I'm your third token Arab for the night. You know, we like to come in 3, 2, 1. Yesterday we were here at CFTA till midnight. We were fixing up the stage, not the microphone though. Totally missed that one. And there was an electrician here. Super nice guy, right? But your typical white Canadian with a name like Chester, you know? He's coming in shorts to work, you know, and he's wearing, his work shoes are steel toes, but they're sandals. And that's such a Canadian thing, like danger can only come from one side, you know, like not many. But like we were talking and he goes, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm Lebanese. He goes, oh, I love falafel. All right, let me tell you white folks in here why falafel is the shittiest thing you could tell an Arab. Falafel is not real food. Falafel is what you put inside a big grinder and go, fuck it. Whatever comes out, you know? Like it's chickpeas, onion, things that shouldn't fuck even are together in a blender, like chickpeas, fucking onions, parsley. You know how fucking weird that sounds? And then to mask the awful taste, we deep fry it for hours. Like ever stand at a falafel stand and you're like, dude, I think it's done. He's like, no, it has to be black. Absolutely black, you know? That's the most fucked up thing to tell, like boil down or fry down an Arab culture just to its falafel. So I was thinking, like, how can I retaliate? Like, I want to say the worst thing whenever a person speaks to me and tells me, oh, you're from Lebanon, I love falafel. I want to retaliate. I want it to hurt as well. So I came up with a few examples I'm going to share with you now. You can write them down, jot them down. If an American tells you, oh, where are you from? Canada, I love poutine. You could tell him, oh, you're from the States. I love school shootings. If a German guy comes and tells you, I love falafel, you tell them, I love Hitler. Such a nice guy. Like his art was misunderstood. It really personified the challenges man faces. Not the Jews, we know their challenge, but the other white people. And if a Canadian tells you, oh my God, I love falafel, tell them this, I love dead indigenous children. Too dark? Too dark? Should we pull back? Okay, I'm pulling back. So I have a moral problem right now in my head, other than all the bullshit I just said. Even though I did something really great with my life, I am filled with envy. You know, I just bought a house in Canada. Fuck no. You buy one. It's the shittiest thing you can do. Seriously, it's so much new stress that I didn't realize. But with all of that, the reason, by the way, I bought a house is because my wife said so. Simple. I don't think that far ahead. You know, the most thought I've had was it pepperoni or just cheese? You know, like that's the most I thought into the future. My wife is the one who thinks, like, oh, we need to buy a house. And I'm like, sure. Pepperoni or just cheese for you? Can we talk about it? So yeah, I bought a house, but I still envy the homeless person who exists, can't say living, down the street from me. Because homeless people, you know, they just have one thing, one item. I have gutters to worry about. I have a chiller I need to check and put a stick in it and then pull it out and sniff it to see if there's something dead in my fucking AC, you know? But a homeless man only has one thing. And it's probably a canoe paddle. There's no canoe, no water, and no plans involving either. Just standing there, like, you know, that one item you always find with a fucking homeless person that just doesn't fit their situation. Like a homeless woman walking with a fax machine. I'm like, where are you? Are you leaving? Did you just get fired? What's happening? So, you know, but it's not like they have nothing. They have that one item, homeless people, you know, and it's usually not an item anybody wants to save. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever seen those makeover shows? when they show up to somebody's house like a hoarder and they're like, hello, we're white, so we're beige as well. We're going to help you fix your life. We've seen you've hoarded a ton of shit across the years. I see you have what is that? A bottle filled with nails. Does that have a sentimental value for you? We're going to keep it and put it up in the new house so it serves like a fucking remembrance gift to yourself from your old self. So romantic. But you see the makeover shows for homeless people. They don't try to save anything from their shit. They don't even do the polite thing of pretending that they're going through their shit to see, oh, maybe there's something. This Kit Kat wrapper, it means something to you. You know? That's it. Like, like homeless people, just that one thing. And basically all the makeover shows, I believe, are telling them, all right, Steve, everything you are, everything you've owned, that's trash now. We're starting over. You're not getting anything left. But it's not like if they wanted to ask the homeless person if any item they want to save, they want to keep it, it's not like they can articulate well, right? Because homeless people speak a special language that I believe most of us are not fluent in. You know, a homeless guy walked to me the other day and was like, excuse me, my jet and the washing machine, and they all flew with the squirrels. I'm like, thank you. Listen, buddy, like 2 out of these many words that you said, I cannot afford, so you want me to buy you something? I wish I can do that with my wife, just blurt out words and then shove the thing I want at the very end. Like, come on, I'm sorry. My love, the car, and then my PlayStation, and then everything, sex. That was my time, guys. Thank you. Let's bring back Ayman.
One more round for George, everyone. George brings up the perfect example of a saying in Arabic, which is "اللي خرج من داره قل مقداره," which basically translates to, if you leave your house, your value goes down. But the exact opposite happened with falafel. When it came to Canada, it suddenly got elevated. You don't understand. Falafel is the food of the poor in the Middle East. It's like the cheapest thing you can buy. If you're ever hungry in Kuwait, for less than $1, you can stuff yourself with as many falafels as you want. So I don't understand how here they're so happy. They're like, oh, it's vegan. Oh, you pay $8 for a sandwich. And I'm looking at it, and my mind still translates to Kuwaiti dinars, the strongest currency in the world. And I'm like, there is no fucking way I'm paying that much money for fucking falafel. Our next comic probably does not eat falafel. He's hilarious. I love seeing him perform. Everyone, give a loud round of applause for Richard Letran.
Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, I thought the food of the poor in the Middle East was nothing. I like Hamilton though, I like Hamilton. I'm from Mississauga, so like we don't have that many white people, but I like the white people in Hamilton more, because like you guys are a lot more kind. I think it's because you guys are like the majority here. Like back in Mississauga, there aren't that many white people. Like yesterday, me and Dante were at our open mic, and like some white dude just came up and said the N-word. That puts Dante in a very precarious situation, because he's like the only black guy there. So it's like, do you either run up and start fighting him and then fit the stereotype, or, you know? This isn't even a joke. I'm just airing out my grievances about Mississauga white people. Let's see. Have you guys heard about this guy named James Harrison? James Harrison was this dude that had like a special type of blood, right? Like some special type of antibodies. And basically he donated a bunch of blood throughout his lifetime. And he saved 2.4 million babies. That guy's like reverse Hitler. Like that guy has an automatic like reserved spot in heaven, right? Because you realize he'd have to kill 2.4 million people just to get to neutral, right? And then like I started thinking about that, and I was like, Do you guys think that God determines who goes to heaven as like a numbers game? Like, okay. Take Obama, for example. You know, a lot of people hate him. A lot of Arabs hate him because, you know, like he drone strike the shit out of Syria. He actually killed about 20,000 people through his drone strikes. However, Obamacare saved like 10,000 people. Does Obama go to heaven? yeah, I didn't find it that funny either. Speaking of heaven, do you guys believe that all dogs go to heaven? Yes. I guarantee you they don't. You see, my cousin, she had a dog, and like this dog was racist. You might be asking, how can you tell if a dog is racist? This little shit used to run around the neighborhood, just biting people all day long. But for some reason, it would only bite Indian people. Granted, it was Brampton, so maybe it's a demographic thing. But it would only bite Indian people for some reason. And like my cousin just decided to never put it down. So within the 10 years I was alive, it bit like 20 Indian people. That dog is going to hell. That dog is going to hell. All right, it's only getting worse from here. Do you guys believe in therapy? You guys believe in therapy? You guys believe it works? I don't think therapy should be given to everybody. I feel like nothing would get done if everybody did therapy, you know? Like I feel like this world is built off of the backs of like blue collar workers who work 14-hour shifts and go home and just beat their family. Because like you have to realize like these hardworking people hate their lives, so they go work to distract themselves. Could you imagine if they just stopped beating their family and then started taking mental health days? All right, not that funny. Okay. I don't know. Fuck it. I don't know. I just think it's like a very effective cycle. Because if you just go home and beat your family, you're gonna hate your family even more because you just beat them, and then you're just gonna want to work every day even more because you don't want to see your family. Because whenever you do see them, you want to be. You know, it's a good cycle. You guys realize this is how our economy runs, right? Speaking of beating families and probably children as well, do you guys believe in beating the gay out of somebody? No, like, do you think it's possible?
What kind of beating are you talking about?
I'm talking about, cause I think it's fucked up, right? You know, I was just checking and making sure. I've heard the opposite actually. I heard that you could beat the gay into somebody. Because like, you're okay. If you had a son and you just beat him, right? Trying to make him like less gay or something. Like you're kind of just beating him into like submission. You're beating him into being like a bottom. Like you're teaching him how to take it. I just got the red light. I don't know if that's the time or the topic, but thank you guys.
One more round for Richard, everyone. And I promise you, Richard, that was the time. We welcome any kind of coherent/incoherent babble on this stage. We accept all. And like I told you guys at the beginning of the show, callback, I am single. And I'm single to a dangerous point now where at traffic lights, I'm turning back to look at the homeless people, homeless women, to see whether or not I can offer her a place to stay. Yeah. What do we want to talk about? Well, before I bring up our next comic, I'd like to share a story of how I met her. One day, I'm sitting at home, and I decide to go on a quest. Yes, a quest to a tavern across the street called The Judge, where you go, you get 2 minutes to tell jokes in front of a panel of judges, as the name implies. Now, the fucked up thing is that I was unaware on this quest to this tavern that I would be performing for Hamilton's rendition of Lord of the Rings, where they had one tall British gentleman who was probably as high as Gandalf was in the movie.
Test.
As you can see, we are showing you the full capability of CFTA, where we had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 microphones. Okay? To go with the 5 beautiful cameras we have to capture your lovely performances. Now, without further ado, let's bring on our next comic, Ali Moore.
Thank you, funeral director / used car salesman, Ayman. We appreciate you, King, but unfortunately I think the mics keep killing themselves when you get on stage. Guys, it was a rough day. I got beat into eating pussy on my way in. They really can beat the gay into you, okay? Was walking down the street and someone was like, "You will be a dyke." Now here I am. I listened to fucking Rosie O'Donnell stand up my whole way here. So it's been a good day to have a good day. I don't know why I'm not just holding my phone in my hand like a jackass. Like, I only wrote new jokes for today. I thought being in the basement meant I should give you whatever stupid fucking half-cooked stoner brains came to my head. Like, my name is Allie. I'm allergic to wearing a bra. These titties are free in the name of justice. Okay? All women want to free the nip? Nah, I just need to free the tit. Like, it just, bare minimum, I just think it's like fucking crime against humanity. You're just trapping everybody all up in here. I'm good. I'm good on that. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather just let the girls be free and everybody think that I'm mid-transition. It's a vibe. People are like, they're really coming in. And I was like, yeah, I hope maybe one day soon. But it's not my fault. I just don't have nice enough boobs to wear a bra. You know what I mean? There's nothing worth advertising over here. Like, do you guys have like a white tray and some plastic wrap to hold them up? Like, that's, because they just look like some fucking half-off chicken cutlets over here, you guys. It's not a vibe. I have the one lady in the front who's like, yes, I love your saggy boobs. That's awesome. Tonight I'm dressed like an elevated unhoused or a less fancy Danny. So I don't know if you guys noticed. He is wearing like the all black, all fuckable look. And I'm wearing the I made this Twilight t-shirt myself. Yeah, that was a half woo from all of you guys who were like, no, I can't believe you like Twilight, you fucking fag. But it's fine. I'm just joshing. While we were outside smoking weed, some bald man in a convertible drove by, just blasting Biggie. Like, just tart right up. I was like, oh yeah, that guy fucks. That guy that I could tell from a distance was shiny, cue ball, shiny bald, and for sure like 5'2". I was like, oh yeah, that guy in the fucking, whose convertible is as shiny as his head? Yeah, that guy. That guy fucks 4 times a day like you like fucking antibiotics. You know what I mean? That guy's, wow. I was like, that's a sleigh. Somebody's just fucking bobbing on his knob right now. He's whipping through the streets of Hamilton. Just giving blowjobs al fresco. That's my summer pastime. Yeah, I was really captivated by the idea that Gabby said that her dream in life is for her dad to come back. I was like, your dream is for your dad to come back? I've spent the last 20 years pretending like, what if my best friend's dad raised me and raised me correctly? What if somebody raised me to have a little more self-respect, you know? Well, there was a man around to be like, here's how to ride a bike, and here's why we don't fuck dudes with adjectives for names. But no. Couples of Rusties and Dusties later, and I'm fucked. But Aleko's right. It's gay as fuck to ride a bike. Like, the matching outfits to the little fucking, it's like just that, like throwing the ass back. Like it's, I don't know, you guys. I don't know how to ride a bike like a straight man. I'm just walking around like, yeah, I've got 3 DUIs and no custody of my children. Why would I need to take a bike anywhere? But you guys got tense, like, my DUI clears next year. That's got a little uppity with me just now. That's okay. That's okay. I also liked that Ayman talked about old dudes banging younger girls, because, like, I subscribe to that narrative, you know? I don't have a dad. Like, I'm sure you guys can tell that from the everything about me, right? But it's, I think this thing happens, though, that I really appreciate about older men, because, like, if you're not dating somebody enough older than you, they don't appreciate, like, all of the, you know, how shall we say, new car smell, right? If you only date somebody like 7 years older than you, they forget what it's like to drive something that new, you know? You know when you get something that was made literally in this decade, and you're like, what the hell? This has Bluetooth capability? Old men are getting in there like, this has power seats? You don't have to use a hand crank to roll down the window? This is awesome. I'm like, yes. But I am 2 days away from turning 27, which is like the sexual equivalent of chunky milk. I'm fucked, you guys. So come Saturday, somebody's gonna give me a sniff and go, oh, no thanks. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that. I've been doing my Kegels to prepare. I've got the puswatch of a fucking much younger woman, okay? This voice and this face screams old as time, but this hoochie is like Barbie doll fresh. That's, I'm just kidding. You guys look at me. I haven't shaved in a year. Every time I have a failed sexual encounter, I go, that's one more day I'm not shaving. So now I'm just constantly like tripping over it like it's Gandalf. That's I wish that was a joke. I'll tell you guys like one more. I don't know how much time I have. I just want to leave. I'm just kidding. I'm actually, I'm having a better time than I thought. You know, I drove all the way to Hamilton. I thought, let's make the jokes to the people. Let's tell them that, like, maybe if my husband were in prison, I would be a bad prison wife. You know what I mean? Like, not to tell you guys too much information, but like my boyfriend was just in rehab. He was there for 4 days, and I was like, who's available? Anybody want to hang out with me? I put on 6 inches of eyeliner today. Who's around? What's going on? But at the same time, I'm like a great prison wife. Like, he was there for 12 hours, and he had more candy than the bulk barn, you know? That's on respect. I'm just saying, just cheat on people you don't like, okay? It makes it a lot easier. I'm kidding! I'm kidding. I just thought it was a funny idea to be like, people who get all weird to be like, oh, I could never cheat. Like, there's this, okay, not to be, this is too real, but like, there's a guy I know who's a fucking derelict, okay? Like, he's a bad guy. Like, he's not a nice man and like does all of the drugs, and then one day hit me up to be like, I would, but like, I'd never cheat. I'm like, I've seen you fent lean more than stand up straight. But that's your moral line? You're like, I would never. I'm like, then you should just like your girlfriend less. It's a lot easier to cheat on people you don't like. But anyways, I was trying to work that out because I thought it was a funny thing to say. But it doesn't need to be. It's okay. It's all right. There was one more thing I wanted to say and I don't remember what it was. So who cares? You know, let's just escape. Let's just leave into the night. I'm just kidding. I actually really wanted to say it. Fuck you guys. I was talking to this dude recently that I thought that was a mic stand. I was just going to get it. I'm just lost in the distance. He was, how do you say, kicked in the balls. And then, unfortunately, somebody else aggressed those same assaulted nads. So then he had to warn me to be like, hey, by the way, I'm about to send you a picture of my junk. And one of my balls is way bigger than the other. And I was like, okay. And then I saw the picture, and like one of his balls is way bigger than the other. And one of his balls is the size of a cantaloupe. Like, one of his balls is the size of a softball, and one of them is like fucking the basketballs you use in the pool. Like, thank you. I just really wanted to say that somebody's balls were like the size of a basketball you use in the pool. That's all. Thank you so much. I'll leave now.
One more after everyone. That was a very graphic set. You know what else is graphic? This infographic about Donald Trump. Because you know we got to talk about the Trump, right? He's the only president in America that has beaten not one, but 2 women. He only ever was able to beat women. Run him up against an old guy with the mental capacity of a potato, and he loses. But run him up against women, and he always comes out swinging. So the only American woman beater president is Donald Trump. Our next comic, hopefully, is not a woman beater. I hope not. Everyone, give a round of applause for Max Sheldrick.
Thank you. Holy shit. What the fuck was that? What the fuck? Did anyone else hear that? What the fuck? Did he just say, he's like, this next guy, I hope he's not a woman beater. Max, I want to make sure I heard that correctly. Okay, cool. All right. Bam. Fucking great intro. Sick. All right. I got 3 minutes. Let's get into it. I was hanging out with my grandmother recently. She's 98. Not a fun hang. Dude, she fucking, like, I feel bad when she has to hang out with me because, like, she doesn't relate to me. I don't relate to her. That's a fucking huge, like, 98, 33. That's a huge gap. I'll hang out with 20-year-olds and they'll talk about aura. I'm like, I want to fucking kill myself. But, like, she'll talk to me about shit that I can't relate to. Like, she'll try her best. She'll just be like, do you have a house? I'm like, no, you're not going to live to see that shit at all. Actually, you being alive is kind of holding that up, if I'm being honest, you know? You know? Like, and then she'll try to relate to me. She's like, what is AI? I'm like, nothing you got to worry about, baby. Yeah? You got to fucking explain AI to you? You got a minute left. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know, man. And I tried hanging out with my grandmother. I tried just low stakes. I just took her to a Denny's. She could not handle Denny's. Just walking in, the lights flickered, the floors were sticky, just a sensory over. She's just like, yeah, fucking. She sits down, she starts reading the menu. She's like, egg whites. Does that mean it's just for us? I'm like, oh my God, Grandma. Can't take you anywhere. What the fuck? No, get your oxygen tank. We're fucking out of here. I live in a shit neighborhood in Toronto. I live in a bad neighborhood. I live in Jarvis and Wellesley. I don't know if you guys know about it. It's a bad neighborhood. It has a lot of what you guys have here in Hamilton, which is crackheads. All right, you guys don't like that shit. Okay, all right. Now, I've become pretty desensitized to crackheads, and I got to tell you, I didn't think I was that desensitized until recently. Like, I had friends come to visit me, and I got, like, fresh eyes on my neighborhood, and, like, I've lived there for 5 years, and it's gotten progressively worse, and friends came to visit, and I took them on what I thought was a nice stroll around my neighborhood, and fuck, they came back fucking shell-shocked, just full of anxiety, questions, and I had answers. I kind of turned into a safari guide on this walk. Like a crackhead Dundee, where my friends are out there walking, just like, what the fuck is that over there? I'm just like, shh. There you have a common millennial crackhead in his natural environment. Look, majestic, headbutting a car window. The cops are coming in. If you look close, you'll notice how he doesn't run, but moves incredibly fast. Like my friends, they're just naive farm kids. They don't know any better, but they'll ask dumb questions. Like one of my buddies was like, dude, what is that piss smell? And I'm like, fucking piss. It's everywhere, buddy. You nailed it. Look at the nose on you. Another one of my friends asked a very kind of nuanced question nowadays. He was like, can we go enjoy one of the parks in the city? It's a nuanced question nowadays. Can we go enjoy one of the parks in the city? I was like, you don't enjoy parks in the city. You experience parks in the city. It's like an art installation, changes every day. But it's always a juxtaposition. There's always the people who are using the parks for what it was, and the people who are using the parks for what it is now, right? Like the other day, I went there and I witnessed a run group meetup, and 10 feet away, a guy jacking off to the run group meetup. And the run group, they didn't even notice it. Like they were so excited. They were inducting a new member. They're like, we got Steven joining us today. Steven wants to better his life. Let's give it up for Steven, yay. And then 10 feet away, the guy's like, oh, Steven's my favorite now. Yeah, look at those calves. Like, oh, Steven wants to lose 15 pounds for the summer. That's a pretty reasonable goal for Steven, right? And he's like, Steven, you're perfect the way you are. And like, we hate the guy who jacks off at the park, but we hate him because secretly, deep down, dudes here, we envy him, you know? Because that's confidence. Okay, all right, never mind. All right, well, that's my set. Thank you very much, guys. Keep it going for your host.
One more round for Max, everyone. And Max, I apologize for that introduction. It really did need some work. But I love that you mentioned running because looking at your clothes, I am ready to crank Eye of the Tiger and run through that park with you. Because you're dressed like Rocky from the first Rocky and the second Rocky and every other Rocky after that. Your next comic, keeping the ball rolling, Mitch, UK.
Mitch UK, hello, Mitch UK. Yes. Cheerio, you know? What a magical night, huh? Fucking, we've been here for hours. I gotta get off stage soon. I gotta turn into a pumpkin at midnight. By the way, Max does hit women. It's, yeah, that's why he wore that outfit. They call it like a sleeveless top a wife beater. Like he's wearing fucking fiance stompers, you know? God. He'll tell you he was doing a themed show earlier. He wasn't. That's just how he leaves the house. Me, though, I got my shit together. Fucking jeans. Hell yeah. I'm not wearing a suit and open mic level, but I got it together. Thank you guys for coming, though. This is all I have. So it's good, though. My wife wants to go to the gym with me. I like going to the gym, and she wants to go with me. I don't want my wife going to the gym. I like her. I love her. But I don't want her coming to my special place, you know? It's just because we do different things at the gym. Like one of us just wears yoga pants to show off their ass, and the other one's my wife. I like the gym, though. My favorite part of the gym is the sauna. That's my favorite part. I like going to the sauna. And the other day I was in the sauna alone, and a guy came in after me. He was wearing nothing but a towel, and he was holding like a book and a water bottle and all these things. And when he tried to close the door, he dropped all the things, and they knocked the towel off, and he was naked. And he was embarrassed that he was naked. And I could tell he was embarrassed, so I wanted to cut the tension a little bit. So I was like, don't worry. I have that effect on some people. And then he left the sauna. He showed me his dick, but I was the pervert still. It is so hard making friends. I don't know why I don't have more friends. I'm fucking cool. You know? I know cool shit. I know how to do that rubber pencil thing. Come over. I'm great. I can play Funky Town on a wireless phone. 33231 32431. Hell yeah, awaken the beast. Damn, bitch. I love making a girl snort. E-I-E-I-O or whatever. Yes. Many animal noises, very good. Squawks like a parrot, oinks like a pig. That's the old saying. I'm looking to try to get my wife to do that. Why don't I have friends? You know? I'm so fucking cool. I know fun facts. You know this? Did you know that the lighter was invented before matches? Yeah. No, that's okay. Just keep them coming. Toots. Isn't that crazy? The good thing came first. It was already perfect. It was windproof, waterproof, sounded great in a Lil Wayne song. Imagine the pitch for the matches. They're like, oh, is it also windproof, waterproof, and sounds great in a Lil Wayne song? They're like, no, but it's fucking paper. So you can put the phone number on a sleazy motel on it. It's fun. All right, I got 24 more minutes. Nice. I saw this the other day. A news article said that a weak tornado landed in southern Ontario. I was like, a weak tornado? Why are we bullying our tornadoes? That's the last thing you want, getting jacked and coming back. Because it's a slippery slope. At first, sure, the tornado will eat lunch alone, but eventually it comes back with a gun. It's a tornado with a gun. Call that a revolver. And we got all sorts of zoo animals. Very nice. I don't like the Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, I don't like my clowns with physical fitness. That's just the scariest thing on earth with good core strength, you know? Yuck. Cirque du Soleil clowns are like the Navy SEAL of clowns. fucking 82 of them up in a chopper, listening to Joe Rogan. They all come out with oversized flippers or whatever. All right, thank you. I've been Mitch. Yes.
Give it up for Mitch, everyone. And give another loud round of applause for yourselves, because you are the true comedic geniuses for lasting till our best and last performance. No pressure. No pressure, Doug. I know you got it. I know you got it. I just have to say one thing. Between Dante saying he looks like The Weeknd, I think, Richard, you should say you resemble Mr. Han. Okay, now I feel old. Mr. Han is the DJ from Linkin Park, man. Like, but if Dante is The Weeknd before he was famous, then you can call yourself Mr. Khan. Close enough. Everyone, huge round of applause for Doug.
Good up for Ayman. He loves Linkin Park, huh? Talked about them quite a bit. Me and my girlfriend were pretty autistic. We're not like the kind of autistic to get on a TV show, but we're the kind of autistic where we don't make eye contact with each other. Like, I'm with her for 2 years. I can't tell you what color her eyes are, but I could pick her nipple shade out of a wall at Benjamin Moore, out of the colors. But like I said, we're pretty autistic. We like collect random shit. Like she's really into Furbies. She has like 50 Furbies. I look at these things every day. You know, they have these like giant heads, these little half-lidded beady eyes with long eyelashes and a tiny mouth. And I look at them all day, and I've started to think like, man, I think my girlfriend's only with me because I look like a human Furby. Like I'm just like the living centerpiece of her collection, which, you know, makes a lot of sense. Explains why she makes me wear the ears when I go down on her. Just like come up halfway, like, yum, hungry, Stupid. All right. One time after sex, she asked me to rank our sex on a scale of 1 to 10, because, like I said, autistic, we love numbers. And I gave it a 9. Gave it a 9 out of 10, which I thought was pretty good. That's an A+ in the Canadian education system, right? I thought 9 was good. She reacted like I said 1 out of 10. She was so mad. I thought I was being fair, right? I thought I was like leaving 1 on the table for like the best time ever. Like it was pretty good sex, right? Like I was on the bottom. That's always a huge plus for me. But she reacted like me saying 9 out of 10. Like that was her 9/11. Like she will never forget. She just brings it up all the time. She was only 3 years old when 9/11 happened. So that might actually be her 9/11. Because I don't know what else. What other 9/11 could she have? Like when that One Direction guy died? That's the only other one I can think of. All right. Cool. She got mad at me the other day. Actually, we were laying in bed. She looked at something on her phone, like on Reddit. It said that 1 in 4 guys have been subscribed to an OnlyFans account before. And she's like, that's disgusting. And then she turned to me and she was just like, have you subscribed to an OnlyFans before? And I'm honest to a fault, and I told her I had. It was before we were together, right? I wanted to see how she could be mad about that, but she was pretty pissed. In my defense, like the only reason I subscribed to it is because it was a friend of mine's girlfriend who started the OnlyFans, and that's just like too much power for me to give up, you know? Because I know this dude; he's a good friend of mine. He has to put up with so much shit with her. She's like so mean to him. All this fucking abuse he has to put up with to see what she's got going on. This guy, $5. All it cost me was $5 once, too, right? I'm not subscribing for multiple months. We're gonna fucking unveil a second butthole in month 2? Like, I'm only sticking around for the one. She was mostly mad about the chat feature. That's what pissed her off, like the being able to chat to the women, but they never did that. I'm not good at talking to women. I feel like when I was supposed to learn how to talk to women when I was a teenager, I just did it online instead, and not even to girls I know in real life, to like girls on Habbo Hotel, different message board. Thank you so much. But which probably means I was never talking to girls. I was just talking to old dudes pretending to be girls the whole time. So explains my skill deficit there. do one more thing and then get the fuck out of here so we can all go home. I'm sorry that we're just trapped. But anyways, I'm trying to quit weed right now, which is kind of hard because I'm working at a dispensary. But it's been easier than I thought working at a dispensary because you just see like cautionary tales all day long. Like guys who come in and get the same thing every day and they walk in, they're like, oh, give me that. You know what I get? It's the blue tube. Like they have no concept of, no memory at all. But bartender, it's a cute job. You know, it's a silly name for what we do. Like we're not really 10 bud. You don't walk into the store and like see us like trimming the plant. Like that's not what goes on. Like we're much more like an employee at the beer store. You know, like we sell prepackaged drugs. Don't ask us any questions about it. Just take it, get the fuck out of here. But that doesn't stop people from just treating like a weed sommelier all the time. Just asking for opinions based on, or asking for recommendations based on the craziest shit. Like recommendations based on mood. Like based on mood. Like imagine doing that at the beer store. Imagine walking to the beer store and you're like, yeah, hi, I'm looking for something creative and uplifting. And the person working there is like, have you considered sobriety? Like, I don't know what to tell you. It might be in the cards for you. All right, that's all I wanted to do. Get up for your host, Ayman. I give it up one more time for Linkin Park, huh? They fucking rock.
One more time for Doug, everyone. One more round of applause for yourselves. You've been an amazing audience. We will let you out onto the streets of Hamilton. If you've learned anything today, it's if you can't beat them, talk like them. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Look, man, he's the guy on the turntables, and I used to think that DJs have like a sucky job, and all they just do is like spin records. But then when I saw the shit that guy was doing with his fingers, I'm like, this girl is really Look, that thing, that's the guy I saw.
Maybe if your hair was a little more, but like different face shape. Similar to like the
jaw.
No, you Egyptian. You remind me a lot of Bruno Mars.
Yeah. I suppose that, especially with the hair.
Look, he does that thing with his feet when he's dancing. I'm like, I wish it was.
I just like that. I think that's uptown, right? And that music video, with all these dancers, like, put him in behind us, and he looks taller, and it makes me so happy. Very cute.
That's my height of my driver.
I wonder how tall I am. That's not funny. Move on. Stop.